And welcome to my YouTube channel EXP22 Excel Chapter 5 HOE Psychology. So, if you want to complete my MylTLab courses Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Access, we can do online courses accounting, math, stat, finance, economics, writing and other courses. So, I will guarantee you 90 or 95 plus grade your assignments and your exam. We move to the project description. You are to the Vice President of Psychology Divisions has to the publishing company. Textbook are classified to the disciplines book are classified by year and you will do classification to year discipline have the highest to lowest and then the worksheet to the content you want to analyze the publish to psychology and discipline subtotal you will also create to pivot table varieties and aggregated data. Finally you will create a pivot charts and aggregated data. So we move to the main project step is step number 1. So step number 1 is start Excel, download and open the file name exp22 Excel chapter 5 HOE psychology. Grader has automatically added your last name to the beginning of the file name. So go to the Excel worksheets. I have already downloaded the Excel files. We can move to question number 2. So question number 2 is your first task is to sort the dataset on the book subtotal worksheets and ensure the book subtotal worksheet is active. So go to the Excel worksheets and book subtotal worksheet is active. Sort the data by discipline alphabetically order and then further sort the its by area to the alphabetically order. So sort the data. So go to the data types and go to the data types, sort the data by discipline. So sort the data by disciplines. So go to the data types and go to the sort and filter groups. Click the sorts and sort the data by discipline. So click the discipline and next is at the level is sort by area. So click the add levels and sort by area in alphabetically order. Both is alphabetically order. This order is A to Z and click OK. So question number 2 is complete. We can move to the question number 3. So question number 3 is you want to subtotal the data set by discipline and then add a second set of subtotal by area and use the subtotal feature to insert the subtotal row by discipline to calculate the total for a sale wholesales and sale retail and total book sale column. Without removing the first subtotal, insert the subtotal by area to calculate the total for same column. Use the subtotal and insert the subtotal by disciplines and calculate the total for the sales wholesale and sales retail and total book sales column. So go to the data tabs and go to the column groups, click the subtotal. So open the dialog box is subtotals and insert the subtotal row by discipline. Insert the subtotal row by disciplines. So insert the subtotal row by discipline and to calculate the total for sale holds and sale details and total book sale column without removing the first subtotal. Insert the subtotal by area to calculate the total for the same column. So click the sum function is sum and select the sales wholesales, so select the sale wholesale, and next is sale retail wholesale, and next is sale retail, and then total book sales column. So select the total book sale column, click, select the discipline, and sale wholesale, sale retail, and total book sale is selected it. And next is total sale. Without removing the first subtotal, insert the subtotal by area to calculate for the same column. So remove the first subtotal, insert the subtotal by area to calculate the total for the same column. So click OK, and next is go to the data tabs and go to the ordered groups, click the subtotals. So subtotal is without removing the first subtotals. Removing the first subtotal is area, sort by area, subtotal by area to calculate the total for the same column. And remove the replace current subtotals. Remove, deselect the checkbox and click OK. So question number 3 is complete. We can move to question number 4. So question number 4 is next you want to apply an outline to the column so that you can collapse or expand the unit sold and unit price column, and create an automatic outlines and collapse the outline above a column H and K. Create an automatic outlines. So go to the data tabs and click the outlines, and click the groups and click auto outlines, and modify existing outline, click OK, and collapse the outline above the H and K. So collapse the H and K column, So question number 4 is complete. And we can move to the question number 5. So question number 5 is next you want to create the recommended pivot table and then name it, display the book data worksheets, and create the recommended pivots table using the sum of units sold thumbnail, and change the name of the worksheet to pivot table. Name the pivot table to total book sale. Display the book data worksheets. So go to the book data worksheets, and create the pivot table sum of unit sold by thumbnail. So go to the data tabs, book data worksheet, and go to the insert tab and recommended pivot chart using the sum of units sold by thumbnails. Click the recommended pivot tables and sum of units sold thumbnail, sum of units sold by thumbnail, units sold, sum of units sale, sum of unit sale. So select the sum of unit sale, unit sold, sum of units sold thumbnail, and then click OK, and change the name on the worksheet is pivot table. So copy the sheet name and go to the Excel worksheet and paste the sheet 1 is, click the rename and press enter. So rename the worksheet and name the pivot table as total book sales. So copy the name, pivot table names, and click the pivot table, and pivot table name is total book sale, press enter. So question number 5 is complete, and we can move to the question number 6. So question number 6 is, you want to compare total book sale by discipline and copyright year and make sure these fields are respective area. Remove the extra fields, place the discipline field in a row and total book sale field in the value and copyrights to the fields in column. Make sure to the respective area and remove the extra fields. Move the extra field. So remove the extra field and place the discipline field in a row area. Discipline field in a row area, and next is total book sales. Total book sale by value area. So select the total book sale, move and drag the value area, and next is copyright field to the column area. So select the copyrights, move and drag to the column area. So question number 6 is complete. Now we can move to the question number 7. So question number 7 is, you will format the value in the pivot table to look more professional and change the custom name that display is the column headings, and click or select the B5 display the value field setting dialog box and type a sale by discipline as the custom name and place the accounting number format 0 decimal places. Click or select cell B5. So select the cell is B5, and B5 display the value field setting dialog box. Right clicks and display the value field setting dialog box, and type the sale by disciplines custom name and apply the accounting number format with the 0 decimal place. So click the custom name is sale by discipline and apply the accounting number format 0 decimal places. Click the number formats and apply the accounting number format and 0 decimal places. Click OK and again OK. So question number 7 is the complete. Question number 7 is complete, and we can move to the question number 8. So question number 8 is, you want to replace the generic row label and column label heading with the meaningful headings and type the discipline in cell A4 and copyright year in the cell B3. Select the range B4 to E4 and center the label horizontally. So copy the title disciplines and paste the cell in cell A4. So select the cell as A4 and paste the discipline, press enter, and next is copyright year in cell B3. Copyright in the cell B3. So select the cell is B3 and paste the copyright here and press enter. and select the range B4 to E4, center the label horizontally. So copy the range B4 to E4 and paste the range, press enter. So select the ranges B4 to E4 and select the ranges B4 to E4 and center the label horizontally. So go to the home tabs and go to the alignment groups and click the center the horizontally. So question number 8 is complete, and we can move to the question number 9. So question number 9 is, on the book data sheets you want to insert the function that will display the total sale and the total discipline sale data from pivot tables, and you will change the detail unit price rate from a 30% to 25% and then refresh the pivot tables and display the book data worksheets. So display the book data worksheets, and in a cell B1 enter the get a pivot data function to the value from F10 in a cell pivot table worksheet. In a cell B2 get a pivot table function to value F7 in the pivot change the J to 125 data view worksheets and then refresh the pivot tables to get a pivot table value from the F10 in the cell B1. Cell is B1 and B1 get a pivot tables in the cell F10 in the pivot table worksheets. So value from a cell in the F10 the pivot table worksheets, in the pivot table worksheets in a cell F10, so reference cell is F10, and in a cell B2 enter the get a pivot table function to get the value from F7 in the pivot table, change the value cell J1 to 125 in the book data worksheet and then refresh the pivot table. So type is equal to and insert the get a pivot tables value from F10 is the pivot table worksheets. Type is equal to and go to the pivot table worksheets, into the pivot table worksheets in the cell F10. So select the cell is F10 and press enter. So value, and next is in a cell B2 enter the get a pivots data function to get the value from cell F7 in the pivot table and change the value in cell J1 to 125 book data worksheet and refresh the pivot table. In a cell B2 select cell is B2 and type is equal to, so insert the pivot data worksheets in a cell B2 and function to get the value from F7 in the pivot table and change the value in cell J1 to 125. In a cell F7 function to the pivot tables. So go to the pivot table and select the cell is F7 and press enter. So next is change the value in cell J1 to 125 in the book data worksheet and then refresh the pivot table. So change the value in cell J1 book data worksheets, the book data worksheets, and the book data worksheets. Change the value in cell J1 125 book data worksheets. So select the book data worksheet and change the value is 125, press enter. And next is 125 in the book data worksheet and refresh the pivot tables. So go to the pivot tables and refresh the pivot table. Go to the pivot table analyze and go to the data tabs and click the refresher. So question number 9 is complete and we can move to the question number 10. So question number 10 is you will add a field, the filter area, so you can filter the list by additions and add the addition field to the filter area. You add the filter area so that you can add the addition field to the filter area, addition field to the filter area. So select the addition fields. So add the addition field to the filter area. Go to the Excel worksheets and select the addition and move and drag to the filter area. And so question number 10 is complete and we can move to the question number 11. So question number 11 is because you plan to distribute the workbook, you will insert the slicer to help them and set the filter. Insert the slicer for a disciplines and move the slicer so that the top left corner is just inside the corner of a cell A3. So insert the slicer for a disciplines. Go to the insert tabs and go to the filter group. Click the slicer and insert the slicer for a discipline. So select the discipline and click OK. So insert the discipline and move the slicer so that the top left corner just inside the corner in cell A3. So move and drag the cell is A13, sorry, A13 and left corner just inside in cell A30. So question number 11 is complete. We can move to the question number 12. Total question is 25. So question number 12 is after the inserting the slicer, you want to change the dimension and appearance of it and change the slicer to display 2 column and change the button width to 1.5 inches and change the slicer height 2 inches. Apply the light blue slicer style dark 1. Change the slicer to display 2 column. Change the slicer to display 2 column. Slicer to display 2 column. Slicer to display the button is to 2 column. Press enter. Slicer and change the button width is 1.5 inches. Change the button width is 1.5. Press enter. And next is change the button with this 1.5 and change the slicer height is 2 inches. Change the slicer height is height is 2 inches. So change the slicer height is 2 inches and press enter. Next is apply the light blue slicer style dark 1 and apply the light blue slicer style dark 1, light blue slicer style dark 1, light blue slicer style dark 1. Click OK. So question number 12 is complete. So if you want to complete assignments or exam, you can contact on my WhatsApp link and email. If you want to complete MylTLab courses, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Access, we can do online courses as accounting, math, stat, finance, economics, writing and other courses. So I will guarantee you are 90 or 95 plus grade your assignment and your exam.